Just a great job. But the most menacing aspect of the Biden-Harris agenda is their attack of law and order. And I was a big part. You know, I came in and I had your sheriff, and what a great guy, Beth. I had your sheriff's endorsement and a lot of other endorsements in Kenosha. You ever hear of a place called Kenosha? Because if I didn't get involved, there would be no Kenosha right now. There would be no. And I wish they called earlier. I wish we could have gotten in a little bit earlier, but that's okay. And say what you want. I'll tell you what. I give you governor credit. Unlike Oregon, because we could solve Portland in about, I'd say, 22 minutes. Okay. They're anarchists. They're wise guys. They live in the basement with their parents. Not with Joe, but with their parents. Different basement. A different basement. They go home with their parents. But wise guys, right? Antifa, radical left. You know, nobody likes to say it. They're Antifa, they're radical left. But they're wise guys. We could solve that in 2 minutes, but they don't want to do it. At least your governor said, let's go in and let's solve the problem. And we solved it. It was late, but better late than never. But we solved and we saved Kenosha. And I want to thank the sheriff, and I want to thank the chief. I want to thank all of the law enforcement. I was there. I want to thank the people that were helping rebuild their stores and their businesses. Kenosha. I never thought of Kenosha, that it would be an important part of my life, but it did become, because it was a terrible scene. And it wasn't their fault. It wasn't their fault. But I'll tell you what, your law enforcement did a great job. We did a great job. And I want to thank everybody involved. Our law enforcement in this country, if you let them do fairly what they do better than anybody in the world, they wouldn't have any problem. They wouldn't have any problem. You look at what's going on in New York under Democrats. You look at what's going on in Chicago under Democrats, Portland, Oakland under Democrats, Baltimore under Democrats. We have a great young congresswoman hopefully running in Baltimore. She's going to be fantastic. I hope she gets a shot. Republican. I hope she gets a shot. Today I want to explain to you the threat that their far left plans pose to the safety of your family, your community, and your country. If you give the power to Democrats, the radical left will defund, disband, disarm, and dismantle police departments all across America. Asked if he supports slashing police funding, you saw this last week, he said, yes, yes, absolutely yes. He said, honestly, look, he didn't even understand the question, but that's what he said. It's just like fracking, right? He said, there'll be no fracking for a year. There'll be no fracking. Then he gets lucky. Elizabeth Warren refuses to get out so Bernie can have the nomination. So Joe lucks into it on a Super Tuesday. And now he's standing in Pennsylvania, and they want to frack because they have 1 million fracking jobs and because we're energy independent and things. So he goes from saying for a year and a half, there will be no fracking. I wanted to put it on a screen, but it was so windy, we would have needed like 15 cranes to hold up the screen. Would have been a giant sail, but we haven't. He says no fracking like 18 times. He then becomes the nominee, goes to Pennsylvania, which we're going to win too. He goes to, you know, because in Pennsylvania, I know it well, I went to school there. In Pennsylvania, they believe in law and order, and they believe in energy, and they believe in intelligence, okay? They believe in intelligence. But so he now goes to Pennsylvania, he gets hit hard, and he all of a sudden says, I never said that. There will be fracking. First of all, always